Hello friends, I am Ajay. Welcome to Let's Learn. This is your online classroom. We can use this platform to continue learning. Today we will learn about English punctuation. This is the part of CCP third semester syllabus. In this lesson, you will understand what is punctuation, why it is required, what are the different types of punctuation, along with some examples of each of them. Finally, I will give you an exercise to practice. Let's begin today's session with an activity on play with punctuation. Yes, you can see some sets of sentences on. We can understand and relish the following sentences. So, observe the first screen. You will find two sentences. Woman without her man is nothing. Woman without her man is nothing. So, observe the words in these two sentences. The words are same, but is meaning same? No, because with punctuation marks. Let's see the first sentence. Woman without her man is nothing. Here what is the meaning? Woman is nothing unless there is a man. That is the meaning of the first one. Woman is nothing unless there is a man. Come to second one. Woman without her man is nothing. Here what is the meaning of the second one? Man is nothing unless there is a woman. Next, come to next one. Let's eat grandpa. Second sentence. Let's eat grandpa. So same. Observe the different meanings. What is the first meaning? Let's have a tea. Like let's have a coffee. Like let's eat grandpa. That means grandpa is going to be eaten by us. Okay. That is grandpa is going to be eaten by us. That is the meaning of the first sentence. So read the second one. Let's eat grandpa. Here inviting grandpa to eat. That's the meaning of the second sentences. That is the power of punctuation. You can understand the power of punctuation. The words are same in the both the sentences, but the meaning is different, entirely different from first one to second one. Next, observe another example. Siddharth said Ram was a great warrior. Second sentence. Siddharth said Ram was a great warrior. So same here also. Words are same, but the meaning is entirely different. Coming to first one. Siddharth said Ram was a great warrior. Here who is a great warrior? Ram was a great warrior in the first sentence. Who said? Siddharth said that. Coming to second sentence. Siddharth said Ram was a great warrior. Here Siddharth was a great warrior. So who said this? Ram said. Here Ram said that Siddharth was a great warrior. So with just punctuation marks, the meaning was entirely different. In the first sentence, Ram was a great warrior. So in the second sentence, Siddharth was a great warrior. Now we'll look into another one. So this section consists of 7-year-old children. Second sentence. This section consists of 7-year-old children. Here in the first sentence, about 7-year-old children. The age of the children is 7 years. Coming to the second sentence. Here 7 children are there. Their age is 1 year. With just one punctuation marks, the meaning was entirely different. That is the power of punctuation. Next, another one. Let us see another one. Here we can find 3 sentences. So words are same, but with punctuation marks, the meaning will be entirely different. So let us see the first one. These are my employees. First sentence. These are my employees. Second one, these are my employees. Observe. What is the meaning of first sentence? These are my employees. These people are my employees. I am their boss. That's the meaning of the first sentence. These people are my employees. I am their boss. Next one. These are my employees. Employee apostrophe S. Here employee apostrophe S means of employee. These means these things belongs to my employee, singular. These things belongs to my employee. Observe the difference between first one and second one. In the first sentence the meaning is these people are my employees. Coming to the second sentence, these things belong to my employee, singular employee, singular. Next, observe the third sentence. These are my employees apostrophe. So this is plural one. These things belongs to my employees, plural one, not singular. Unlike the second one. Second one is singular. These things belongs to my employee, one person. But these things in the third sentence, these things belongs to my employees, all the employees, plural one. Okay, that is the power of punctuation. So let's go into a session. So what is punctuation? We will learn, and why punctuation is required. What are the types of punctuation? Okay, next, what is punctuation? A set of marks or signs in English. That is punctuation. Punctuation is a set of marks or signs in English writing, or pauses or stops in the text. A text is a not continuous text. There are some pauses and stops in the text. That is punctuation. So for that we use marks or signs. Okay, why punctuation is required? While speaking, we add and stop and pause directly. While speaking, we add stop and pause directly. Coming to writing, in writing we add stop and pause via punctuation marks, via punctuation signs. So in writing English, punctuation is very important. Coming to speaking, generally we stop by using a tone. Coming to writing, punctuation is very important. So using punctuation correctly is critical for English writing. Always keep it in your mind. Using punctuation marks correctly is critical for English writing. Otherwise, the sentence will be entirely different, entirely changed. The meaning of the sentence will be entirely changed, as we have observed in the previous activity on play with punctuation. We have observed 5 sets of sentences. So in all the sentences, each set, the words are same, but coming to meaning is entirely different because the use of punctuation marks. So in writing, punctuation is very important. It plays a critical role. Okay, punctuation problems can make a bad impression, sometimes leads to misunderstanding. So punctuation is very important. You always keep in mind and follow proper punctuation marks. Use them correctly, otherwise the meaning of the sentence will be entirely different. Now come to types of punctuation. There are three types of punctuation. One is end punctuation, also we can call it as terminal punctuation. The second one is internal punctuation, and the third one is word punctuation. How many types? 3 types. End punctuation, or we can call it as terminal punctuation. Second one is internal punctuation, and the third one is word punctuation. So now coming to end punctuation. Here 3 punctuation marks are there. We can use at the end of the statement. End punctuation means we can use at the end of the statement. Those are called end punctuations. What are the end punctuation marks? One is full stop. You know about full stop, or period, now question mark, and third one is exclamation mark. These 3 comes under end punctuation or terminal punctuation. Now come to second type of punctuation, that is internal punctuation. You can use these marks in the middle of sentences, in the middle of the statement. Those comes under internal punctuation. Here semicolon, colon, comma, quotation marks or inverted commas and ellipses, these are comes under internal punctuation. So observe the signs of punctuation marks. Okay, next, third type is word punctuation. It is apostrophe, hyphen and capital letters comes under word punctuation. Today we will focus on end punctuation. Okay, so already we have discussed how many marks, how many signs are there in end punctuation. 3 signs. Okay, 3 marks: full stop or period, next question mark and exclamation mark. Okay, now end punctuation we will focus on full stop. So you know, a dot, also called as period in American English. Generally in British English we call it as full stop. So coming to American English, we call this is as period, full stop or period. It indicates the longest pause and always placed at the end of the sentence. So that's why it called as a end punctuation. We use full stop to indicate the longest pause and always placed at the end of a sentence. Okay, next, where period or full stop is used. Okay, it is used at the end of declarative or imperative sentence. Declarative sentence or imperative sentence. Declarative sentence means a sentence, a statement. Okay, for example, Siddharth is a university student. That is a plain statement. You know about the different types of sentences. Declarative, imperative, exclamative and interrogative sentences are there. So we use full stop in 2 types of sentences, that is declarative sentences, that means statements, and imperative sentences, commands, orders, those are called as imperative sentences. Now we can look examples. Imperative, declarative sentence: Siddharth is a university student. That is a declarative statement, that is a declaration. Okay, we use the full stop at the end of the statement. You can observe where is full stop, it is the end of the sentence, so it is called as end punctuation mark. This comes under type of end punctuation. Let's coming to second example. Come here, come here, this is the imperative sentence. Okay, come here, it may be command, or sometimes please come here, it may be a request. That is a imperative statement, imperative sentence. So both declarative or statements or imperative sentences we use full stop at the end of the sentence. We use full stop or period, let's call it as American English. Okay, next, going to where it is used. First, in the first case, what is the first case? At the end of the declarative or imperative sentences, that is one case. Next, what is the second case? After most abbreviated words or initials, then we use full stop or period. For example, MA, M full stop, A full stop. So abbreviation forms, then we use full stop. So what is the meaning? MA, Master of Arts. Next example, BSc, Bachelor of Science. Next, in time, AM, capital letters. AM means anti-meridium. A full stop, M. It is 11 AM. It is 12 AM. Like that. In that cases, we use full stop. In first, what is in first sentence? In the first case, we use full stop in declarative and imperative sentences. In the second case, after most abbreviations and initials. Next, let's go into another case. Full stop is used to separate hour from minute and date from month and year. Two cases here. Separate hour from minute and second case date from month and year. For example, the class begins at 11:30 a.m. daily. Here observe the full stop. The class begins at 11 full stop 30. 11 is a hour, 30 is a minutes. Then to separate hour from minutes, then we use full stop 11 full stop 30 a.m. Again find anti-meridium daily. So observe the where we use full stop. Next one, Vardhini was born on 16th February 1962. 16 to 1982. Here observe date. 16 is a date, 2 is a month, 1982 is a year. So how date is separated from month and year, then we use full stops. Okay, this is another case. Next let us see into another case. This is another case here where full stop is not used. In some cases we simply omitted full stops or periods. For example, in acronyms where there are pronounced as a complete word, where the acronym words pronounced as the complete words, then we don't use full stop. Like BBC, we need not use B full stop C, because we pronounce it as full sentence, full word. Okay, in that cases in acronyms we don't use full stops. BBC, NATO, UNESCO, GST, GST, goods and service tax, we don't use full stops. Observe the examples. Next, in second case where full stop is not used. In the first case in acronyms where the word used as a complete word, as pronounced as a complete word. And second one, when the capital letters in the abbreviation doesn't stand for a complete word, in that cases also we don't use full stop. For example, TV, need not to write T full stop B full stop. Okay, TV means television. TB, tuberculosis, that is a disease. In this case we omit full stop. Next let us see into the another case where we don't use full stop. Next, in the newspaper headlines also. So all of you may read newspapers every day, so you can observe the headlines of the newspapers where you don't find full stops. For example, China says it has border dispute with Bhutan too. This is yesterday's newspaper headline. Okay, China says it has border dispute with Bhutan too. We will observe the sentence. There is no full stop. Next, IAF ready for combat role. This is another heading. IAF, that is the Indian Air Force, ready for combat role. That is also heading of newspaper. So we don't use full stop. So this is about and full stop. Where full stop is used, we have seen. Where we don't use period, we have seen with examples and with some cases. Okay, next coming to second and punctuation mark, that is question mark. You know about question mark. So where question mark is used, as we have discussed, full stop or period, question mark and exclamation marks. These three are comes under end punctuation type of punctuation, end punctuation. So we have seen where full stop is used, where full stop is not used. So with some cases and with some examples we have observed. Now we look into question mark, that is also part of end punctuation. So question mark is used at the end of an interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences, already we have discussed about two types of sentences. Talk about on two types of sentences, that is declarative sentence and imperative sentence. Both the types, declarative and imperative sentences, at the end of the sentence we use full stop. Okay, now come to next type of sentence, that is interrogative sentence. Okay, interrogative means questions. Okay, at the end of the interrogative sentence we use question mark. For example, what is your name? So observe the question mark at the end of the sentence. Okay, so at the end of the sentence we use question mark, so that's why question mark is comes under end punctuation. Next one, do you like reading books? Yes, observe the question mark at the end of the sentence. Okay, we use question marks at the end of interrogative sentences. Okay, this is one case. Let us see another case. Question mark, where question mark is used. Second case, after question tags or similar words, also we used question mark. In the first case we use question marks at the end of interrogative sentences. Coming to second case, after question tags or similar words. For example, he likes reading books, doesn't he? Observe the question mark where it is used. Okay, question mark is used at the end of the sentences. So what is the sentence? He likes reading books, doesn't he? What is the question tag here? Doesn't he, that is a question tag. So at the end of question tag we use question mark. Next one, this is your car, right? Right, this is also another type of sentence. So here also we used question tag at the end of sentence. This is one case. Next one, third case, where question mark is used after elliptical questions. There also we use question marks. So in the first case we use question marks at the end of interrogative sentences. In the second case we use question marks at the end of question tags or similar sentences. And coming to the third one, that is after elliptical questions, there we use question tags. Doing well, in trouble, like in that cases, in that elliptical sentences we use question tags. Next one, so we have in the last few minutes we see on where question mark is used. Now we move to where question mark is not used, where question mark are omitted, where question marks are omitted, or where question marks are not used. So for example, the principal asked me where I had gone. Okay, what is this type? This is indirective question. In indirective questions we don't use question marks. The principal asked me where I had gone, that is a indirect question. So indirect questions we don't use question mark. Also second one, I was wondering if they speak English. Here also this sentence also comes under indirect question. Okay, indirect questions. In the slide it was missed, and punctuation question mark is not used in indirect questions. Okay, it was missed in the slide. Okay, you can note down in the sentence, it is not used in indirect questions. A question mark is not used at the end of the indirect question. For example, these two are, the principal asked me where I had gone, that is indirect question, and I was wondering if they speak English. If here we use, that is also indirect. If they speak English, in that cases we don't use question mark. Now coming to the third punctuation marks, that comes under end punctuation. So now what we have seen, so we have seen about two end punctuation marks. First one is period or full stop, second one is question mark. So in full stop, where period is used and where period is not used. We have seen some cases along with examples. Coming to second end punctuation marks, that is question mark, where question mark is used and where question marks are not used. We have seen with some examples in different cases. Now come to the third end punctuation mark, that is exclamation mark. Now observe the marks, exclamation mark, where it is used. Let us see where exclamation marks is used. In first case, after an emotional expression of joy, sorrow, surprise, shock, anger, etc. These are emotional expressions. You know about emotion. Different types of emotions are there. Angry, joy, sorrow, surprise, shock. Okay, the different emotions we don't use. We use exclamation marks. That is one case. Note it down. First case is exclamation mark is used after an emotional expression of joy, sorrow, surprise, shock, anger, etc. In all emotions expressions we use exclamation mark. For example, how fabulous the movie is. That is one type of emotion. Okay, how fabulous the movie is. Okay, next, what a nasty experience it was. That is one type of emotion. Observe the two sentences. There are two different emotions, and observe the use of exclamation mark in these two sentences. Okay, in the two sentences exclamation mark is used at the end of the sentence. Okay, that's why exclamation mark is also called as end punctuation. Okay, next, this is the one case. After an emotional expressions of joy, sorrow, surprise or shock, we use exclamation mark. That is one case. Coming to another case, after an interjection or one word exclamation. In this case also we use exclamation mark after an interjection or one word exclamation. For example, pity, she lost her father, or alas, she lost her father. In that case we use exclamation mark. Observe one word, pity. We use exclamation mark here, pity, she lost her father. Okay, one word exclamation. Next one, hurrah, we won the match. That is another example, hurrah, exclamation mark. Okay, at the end of the sentence we use full stop, but one word exclamation, after one word exclamation we use exclamation mark. Okay, pity, hurrah, oh my god, like that. Different emotions we use exclamation mark. Now coming to another case where exclamation mark is used. Okay, what is the next one? Exclamation mark is used after an imperative sentence with it is charged with feeling, a strong command. In that case we use exclamation mark. Imperative sentence, imperative, already we have seen imperative sentence. At the end of the imperative sentence we use full stop, and also since some other cases where imperative sentence it is charged with feeling, a strong command, then we use exclamation mark. For example, shut up, go and bring your notebook. That is a imperative sentence, that is a command, but we use one expression, shut up. Okay, so one strong command, that is a command, shut up, that is a command. So then we use exclamation mark. Next, get lost. I need no explanation. Like that is another example. Get lost. That is also strong command. Observe both two sentences are comes under imperative sentences. Those two are commands, not request. But a strong command is there. In the first case, what is the strong command? Shut up. So then we use exclamation mark. Then coming to second sentence, what is the command? Strong command here. Get lost. So we use exclamation mark. In this case, in these strong commands, we use exclamation mark. Okay, this is about exclamation mark. Where we use exclamation mark? First, in three cases. First, after an emotional expression of joy, sorrow, surprise, shock, anger, etc. And after, in second case, after an interjection or one word exclamation. You can find the examples on the screen. And last case, after an imperative sentences, when it is charged with feeling. So this is about and punctuation. So what we have learned today in this session, we are going to learn about punctuation. Okay, we begin with our session with a joy of punctuation. Okay, we have observed 5 sets of sentences. So how their meaning was changed with punctuation marks we have observed. That is the power of punctuation. Okay, so and we have discussed what is punctuation and why punctuation marks are required and what are the different types of punctuations. Okay, punctuation is very important in writing. In writing English, so we always keep proper punctuation marks. Otherwise, what happened? What happened? It may be misunderstanding. Without using proper punctuation marks, the end of the meaning of the sentence may be changed. We have observed with different examples in the previous session. In this session, in previous examples. Okay, so punctuation is very, very important. Okay, let's review on what we have learned today. So if you have notebooks, you can write in your notes. Okay, so you can observe different punctuation marks. So we have some play with punctuation. We have observed 5 sets of punctuations, 5 sets of sentences. We have read and understand the meaning of different sets of punctuations. In each set, the words are same, but the meaning is different from sentence to sentence because of punctuation marks. The words are same in all these 5 sets of sentences. Words are same, but the meaning is entirely different from sentence to sentence because of the use of punctuation marks. That is the power of punctuation. That's why so punctuation is very important, especially in writing. So, and we have discussed on what is punctuation, why punctuation is required, and what are the types of punctuation. Next, what is the punctuation? A set of marks or signs in English or pauses, stops in text. That is a punctuation. Why punctuation is required? This is the most important. Okay, while speaking, we add stop and pause directly by using our tone. Okay, coming to writing, we add stops and pauses via punctuation marks or punctuation signs. Okay, using punctuation correctly is critical for English writing. So always we use correct punctuation marks. Otherwise, the meaning of the sentence will be entirely changed. So, we have observed the above play with punctuation activity. Okay, punctuation problems can make a bad impression. That is always important, using punctuation marks properly. Otherwise, what happened? It leads to misunderstandings. Okay, and there are three types of punctuations. One is end punctuation, second one is internal punctuation, and the third one is word punctuations. And coming to end punctuation, here are 3 marks are there. One is full stop or period, second one is question mark, and third one is exclamation mark. These 3 marks, these 3 signs are comes under end punctuation, because these 3 marks are used at the end of the sentence. Next, another type of punctuation, that is internal punctuation. Semicolon, colon, comma, question marks, ellipses. These 5 marks comes under internal punctuation. Next, third type of punctuation, that is word punctuation. Here apostrophe, hyphen, capital letters. These 3 marks are comes under word punctuation. And we also discussed on end punctuation. You know how many marks are there in end punctuation? Yes, you are right. Full stop or period, next exclamation mark and question mark. Yes. Okay, now come to full stop. It is also called as period in American English. It indicates the longest pause and always placed at the end of the sentence. Okay, end up. These are used at the end of the sentence. And where full stop is used, observe the case. At the end of declarative or and imperative sentences, we use periods at the end of declarative and imperative sentence. Next, second case, we use periods after most abbreviations and initials. In initials we use full stop. Okay, next, another case, we use period to separate hour from minute and date from month and year. So we have seen some examples. In these 3 cases we use full stop. Next, coming to another, where period is not used, where periods are omitted. In cases of in acronyms, when there are pronounced as complete word, in that cases we don't use periods or full stops. Where acronyms are used or pronounced as a complete word, example BBC, NATO, UNESCO, GST, in that cases. Okay, next one, punctuation. So where full stop is not used. In first case, in acronyms, when they are pronounced as a complete word, there we won't use full stop. Next case is when the capital letter in the abbreviation doesn't stand for a complete word. We have seen with examples TV, TB like that. Next, another case, periods are not used in newspaper headlines. You know about this. In every newspaper, in all the newspaper headlines, they don't use full stops. That is another case. Now coming to another punctuation mark, that is question mark. Question marks are used at the end of interrogative sentences. Already we have seen in imperatives and declarative sentences we used full stops or periods at the end of this sentence. Now coming to question interrogative sentences, we use question marks at the end of the sentences. So you can observe the examples on the screen. Next, coming to another case, after question tags or similar words, also we used question marks. After question tags or similar words, we used question marks. For example, you can see the examples. He likes reading books, doesn't he? Here, doesn't he is a question tag. There we used question tags. Next, another case, after elliptical questions we used question marks. This is another case. And coming to where question marks are not used, in cases like indirect questions we don't use question marks. This is one case, already keep in mind. Indirect questions we don't use question tags. Now come to another mark like full stop and question mark, exclamation marks is also comes under end punctuation. Okay, where exclamation mark is used. Exclamation marks are used after an emotional expression of joy, sorrow, surprise, shock, anger, etc. In all emotional statements, all emotional expressions we used exclamation marks. Okay, like how fabulous the movie is, how beautiful the rose is, like different expressions we used exclamation marks. Next, what a nasty experience it was. This is another example. In all emotional expressions we used exclamation marks. Next one, end punctuation. Here where exclamation mark is used after an interjection or one word explanations. After interjection or one word exclamation, in these cases we use this mark, exclamation marks. For example, pity, hurrah, these are one word exclamations. Alas, pity, hurrah, in this one word exclamation we use exclamation marks. Next one, where exclamation mark is used after an imperative sentences when it is charged with feeling. The feeling must be a strong command. Already we have seen in all imperative sentences. Imperative means it may be command or request. We use at the end of a sentence what we used full stop. And in some cases where the imperative, the command, strong command, the feeling is a strong command, then we use exclamation mark. For example, shut up, go and bring your notebook. Shut up, that is a strong command. So we used what we used exclamation mark. Shut up. Shut up is a strong command. Get up, get lost, or get out from the classroom. That is, this is another case. So these are what we have learned in this session. Okay, always keep in mind and revised. Okay, now I am going to give you an exercise using what we have learned in this session. Just correct these 5 sentences using appropriate and punctuation marks. Here 6 sentences are there. Okay, right, this is your exercise assignment. Revise your notebook what we have note down during this class, what in where we use end punctuation marks. Like end punctuation marks, those are 3 marks are there: full stop, question mark and exclamation mark, where these marks are used and where these are omitted, where we don't use full stop, where we don't use question mark. And again revise all the points. Now answer these questions. So here 6 sentences are there. Use appropriate end punctuation. End punctuation means 3: period, question mark and exclamation mark. Okay, first one, will you show me the book? Second one, how intelligent you are, you like English, don't you? Stop the bus for me, it is raining now. And the sentences. Last one, what an idea. Okay, this is an exercise to practice end punctuation for you. Okay, use appropriate end punctuations, and we will see other punctuation marks in the next session. Today we have focused on only end punctuations. You know about how many punctuation types are there. There are three types of punctuations: end punctuation, internal punctuation, and word punctuations. Today we focused on end punctuation marks. In the next class we will focus on internal punctuation. Okay, before that we have to do this exercise. Okay, thank you. Meet you in the next class. If you have any doubt, you will mail me to my email address ajayshrivarla@gmail.com. Okay, thank you. Signing off, Jay.